The Senate will come to order. The Secretary will call the roll.
Senator Buck. Here. Senator Cannizzaro. Here. Senator Cruz Crawford. Here. Senator Daly. Here. Senator Dignate. Senator Dondero-Loop. Senator Ellison. Senator Flores. Present. Senator Hansen. Here. Senator Krasner. Here. Senator Lang. Here. Senator Neal. Senator Wynn. Here. Senator Orenshaw. Here. Senator Pizzina. Present. Senator Rogish. Here. Senator Scheibel. Here. Senator Steinbeck. Here. Senator Stone. Here. Senator Taylor. Present. Senator Titus. Here.
Senator Cannizzaro.
Thank you, Mr. President. Please mark Senator Neal absent excused.
Thank you. Let the record reflect there are 20 senators present. Please rise for the prayer by Pastor Chris White with Shine Church in Carson City and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good morning. Let's pray. Eternal Creator, we pause this morning to acknowledge our dependence on something greater than ourselves, a wisdom deeper than politics, a love broader than ideology, and a purpose higher than ambition. Thank you for the call to public service. We recognize the weight and the responsibility. Help us to lead with humility and courage. May we never lose sight of the people behind the policies, the families hoping for opportunity, the workers striving for dignity, the children dreaming of a future, and our elders who have paved the way before us. Give us open minds that are willing to learn, open hearts that are willing to listen, open hands that are willing to serve. Help us to resist the temptation of division and instead strive for unity. Not uniformity, but a shared commitment for the common good. When the debate grows tense, give us patience. When the choices are complex, give us discernment. When the burden is heavy, give us strength. Bless the great state of Nevada, its people, its land, and its future. May this chamber be a place where truth is honored and voices are valued. Again, please bless the staff, the advisors, and all who work behind the scenes to make this legislative process possible. Protect our healthcare workers, educators, first responders, and every citizen who contributes to the well-being of our state. With reverence and resolve, we honor you today. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order of Business 3, reading and approval of the journal. By previous order of the Senate, the reading of the journal is dispensed with, and the President and Secretary are authorized to make the necessary corrections and additions. Order of Business 16, remarks on the floor, introduction of guests. Senator Hansen.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have some very special guests here, since for some unknown reason we're not allowed to introduce our legislative assistants on the floor. I had the great opportunity of introducing Bo Hamilton's mother. This is Heather Hamilton. And Bo is in the audience. Stand up, Bo, even though you may get in trouble. You can blame it on me. As everyone knows, he's the best legislative assistant in the building, and everyone's quite jealous that I was able to poach him from from Congressman Amadei's office. Heather Hamilton is the proud mom of twin boys, Bo and Ryan. And Bo's brother Ryan was going to try to make it, but he hasn't been able to. But Bo is a twin, and I met Ryan today for the first time, and they are definitely identical twins. While Bo serves as my legislative assistant, Ryan is graduating from the State Peace Officer Standards and Training Academy this week. From there, he will serve as a deputy sheriff in White Pine County. Heather lived here in Nevada for many years. She called the biggest little city her home when she had Bo and Ryan. From there, she moved just over the Sierra Mountains to Placerville in El Dorado County. That is where her father, Bud, served as a district attorney, public defender, and district superior court judge after his service in the Los Angeles Police Department. Carrying on her father's proud tradition of service, she worked full-time for the court system as a legal transcriptionist while raising her identical twins all by herself. Inspired by this, both Bo and Ryan grew up knowing they wanted to serve the public. Both boys went on to attend the University of Nevada, Reno. Ryan now follows in his grandfather's footsteps as he enters a career in law enforcement. And Bo has been in public service for the last 3 years, serving at both the federal and state level. And by the way, Bo has dual degrees in political science and communications. And as you know, moms are often the unsung heroes of our lives. Bo and Ryan wish to extend their deepest heartfelt thanks and love to their mom for sacrificing so much to give them every opportunity to succeed. To Bo and Ryan, you, Mom, will always be their super mom. So please join me in honoring Heather Hamilton today. Thank you.
Senator Cannizzaro.
Thank you, Mr. President. So I am very excited to have some guests with me, and I think we have them throughout the floor and maybe some looks like in the gallery as well. So if you are here for Nurses Day at the Nevada Legislature, if you could please stand. And if you're in the gallery, you can stand too. I know we've got a few. Okay, so today is Nurses Day at the Nevada Legislature, which gives us a special opportunity to honor and celebrate the incredible contributions of nurses to our communities and our state. Nurses are the backbone of healthcare, serving on the front lines in hospitals, clinics, schools, and public health settings. They are healers, advocates, educators, and leaders, playing a vital role in ensuring the well-being of Nevadans at every stage of life. And so we want to say a big, huge thank you to all of the nurses who are here with us today for the incredible work that you do for all of us. Whenever we encounter a nurse in a healthcare setting, they are often the most comforting and knowledgeable folks who are helping us along that journey to get to a good place in our healthcare, whatever the reason is that we may encounter them, if it is an injury or an illness or happy things like having babies. We appreciate all of your very hard work, and thank you for taking care of us. And so if you could please join me in making them feel very welcome today in the Nevada Senate, I would appreciate it.
Senator Titus.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have several things. First, I want to rise in support of Nurses Day. I know many of the nurses that are here today and just what a critical component they are to the healthcare structure in the state of Nevada. I started out as a nurse's aide, and maybe I didn't comfort a lot of people, but I sure changed a lot of bedpans. I got to tell you that. So I want to introduce my intern. Catherine, please stand up. This is my intern, Catherine Villasenor. Catherine is a junior at the University of Nevada, Reno, pursuing a degree in political science and philosophy. Catherine is interested in many policy areas such as education and immigration, and after Catherine completes her undergraduate degree, she plans on applying to graduate school, staying at the University of Nevada, Reno for a master's in public administration. Right now, Catherine, I asked her, well, what are your summer plans? And she is already employed by the Northern Nevada International Center. And that is a special place for refugees that come here on a refugee status. And then she helps them transition into their new lives. And I think that's one of the critical components of what we sometimes see about and forget about these folks who are coming here as refugees and want to make sure that there's folks like Catherine out there helping them with that transition. In addition, she's been this crazy great addition to our office, and we've put her to work, but what I also did was have her present 3 of my bills. Now, imagine this. My bills are really out there sometimes, so she got to present a bill on Snowshoe Thompson and what that was about. She got to present a bill on GME, and I think that she was always up to the task, always did her homework. And such a welcome addition to Nevada and people in general. So thank you, and please welcome him.
Senator Rogich.
Thank you, Mr. President. It is my pleasure to introduce Grace Thacker. She's a truly remarkable person, and so as with so many of us through the years, Grace has embraced us with open arms. Her passion for hospitality shines through in her role at the Piazza restaurant, which is located across the street from this building. Grace's dedication for making others feel welcome and at ease is evident in her work, where she takes pride in bringing smiles and comfort to all who enter the Piazza. But perhaps the greatest joy in her life is her grandson, Wyatt, who holds a special place in her heart. Just a little background on Grace. She was raised in Indian Springs, Nevada, and later resided and raised her family in Las Vegas for over 30 years. For the past 8 years, Grace has called Carson City home. As a devoted parent, Grace raised 2 successful sons. In fact, one of her sons recently opened a clinic in Reno that provides free dental care to our cherished veterans. This act of service speaks volumes about the values instilled in her family. So please join me in extending a warm welcome to Grace.
Senator Hansen.
Thanks, Mr. President, for the second bite at the apple. Since we're honoring great mothers, my mother was a nurse. My mom passed away 5 years ago, but since today is Nurses Day, I just thought I'd stand up. She started out as a candy striper many years ago, and then she went on to get her LPN, and then she went on to get she got a master's. She was the nursing supervisor at St. Mary's Hospital for over 35 years. She taught nursing at Truckee Meadows Community College. She also, being a super mom, she had 8 children. I'm the oldest. And in fact, when she passed away, she had almost 100 descendants. She had 48 grandchildren. And I can't remember how many great-grandchildren, but a bunch. And of my children, 3 of my daughters are nurses, following in their grandmother's footsteps. And right now, in fact, they are working as we speak in the nursing field. So I don't know. I just thought today I kind of was touched by Bo Hamilton's mom being here, and it made me think of my mother, especially on Special Nursing Day like this. And I would when you talk about a super mom, she not only raised 8 children and all those grandchildren, she also loved nursing. That was the love of her life after her children, obviously. And she really was an outstanding nurse. In fact, I'm sorry, I can't remember. Pat actually came up to me and said, well, I worked with your mother. I knew her so many years ago, and how influential she was. And my mom also had several nieces and granddaughters that are my nieces, her granddaughters, that are in nursing as well. So, but give me a little round of applause for my amazing mom as a fellow nurse. So if we could do that right now, I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Senator Cannizzaro.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. One just very quick moment, because I feel like I share this with everyone in the building. So today, 2 years ago, when we were here for the legislative session, at 9:58 a.m., my beautiful baby boy, Cole, was born in the middle of a legislative session. And so today is his 2nd birthday. He is my perfect we call him Colio, and he just loves his older brother, and he loves his mama, and he is just a very discerning little person who he is a hard one to get to smile, but when he cracks that smile, it is like the best thing I have ever seen in my entire life. And so thank you all for letting me share him with you last session. Thank you for always being so gracious and kind. And if we could just wish him a very happy 2nd birthday to my beautiful baby boy.
Okay, we will take a quick recess to allow our guests to leave the floor, and then we will continue on with our business. The Senate is back in order. We're having some technical difficulties, so we will not be doing any roll call voting at this point, but there are some other items on the agenda we're going to continue on, and then we'll see what happens. Let's see. Order business 4, reports of committees.
Mr. President, your Committee on Finance, to which were referred Senate Bills numbers 500, 501, and 502, has had the same under consideration and begs leave to report the same back with the recommendation do pass. Signed, Senator Maryland Dondera Loop, Chair. Mr. President, your Committee on Judiciary, to which were referred Senate Bill number 459 and Assembly Bill number 351, has had the same under consideration and begs leave to report the same back with the recommendation amend and do pass as amended. Signed, Senator Melanie Scheibel, Chair. Mr. President, your Committee on Natural Resources, to which were referred Assembly Bills numbers 29, 40, 59, 104, 487, has had the same under consideration and begs leave to report the same back with the recommendation amend and do pass as amended. Signed, Senator Shelley Cruz Crawford, Chair. End of reports.
Order of business 9, motions, resolutions, and notices. Senator Cannizzaro.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would move to take the resolution file on today's agenda and place it on the agenda for the next legislative day.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Senator Cannizzaro.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would also move to take Assembly Bills 15, 35, 37, 57, and 60 and place them on the general file for the next legislative day.
Thank you. You've heard the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
That concludes Order of Business 9.
Order of business 12, second reading.
Senate Bill 452, introduced by the Senate Committee on Finance, extends the date of reversion of certain previous appropriations made to the Office of Finance and the Office of the Governor, the people of the State of Nevada, represented in Senate and Assembly, to enact as follows, Section 1 into Section 1.
Are there any amendments?
There are none.
SB 452 is ordered to the general file.
Senate Bill 454, introduced by the Senate Committee on Finance, revises provisions governing the State Highway Fund. The people of the State of Nevada, represented in Senate and Assembly, to enact as follows, Section 1 into Section 1.
Are there any amendments?
There are none.
SB 454 is ordered to the general file.
Senate Bill 455, introduced by the Senate Committee on Finance, reorganizes certain divisions within the Department of Motor Vehicles. The people of the State of Nevada, represented in Senate and Assembly, to enact as follows, Section 1 into Section 1.
Are there any amendments?
There are none.
SB 455 is ordered to the general file.
Senate Bill 456, introduced by the Senate Committee on Finance, revises provisions relating to the Office of Federal Assistance and the Office of the Governor. The people of the State of Nevada, represented in Senate and Assembly, to enact as follows, Section 1 into Section 1.
Are there any amendments?
There are none.
SB 456 is ordered to the general file.
Senate Bill 462, introduced by the Senate Committee on Finance, revises provisions relating to state financial administration. The people of the State of Nevada, represented in Senate and Assembly, to enact as follows, Section 1 into Section 1.
Are there any amendments?
There are none. That conclude. There are none.
SB 462 is ordered to the general file.
That concludes Order Business 12 on the first agenda.
All right, we will now go to the second agenda. Order of business 4, reports of committees.
Mr. President, your Committee on Commerce and Labor, to which were referred Assembly Bills numbers 44, 319, and 434, has had the same under consideration and begs leave to report the same back with the recommendation amend and to pass as amended. Signed, Senator Julie Patina, Chair. Mr. President, your Committee on Finance, to which were referred Senate Bills numbers 469, 470, 474, 476, 478, 479, 484, 485, 488, 489, 490, 491, and 493, has had the same under consideration and begs leave to report the same back with the recommendation do pass. Also, your Committee on Finance, to which were re-referred Senate Bills numbers 88 and 432, has had the same under consideration and begs leave to report the same back with the recommendation do pass. Signed, Senator Maryland Dondera Loop, Chair. Mr. President, your Committee on Health and Human Services, to which was referred Assembly Bill number 461, has had the same under consideration and begs leave to report the same back with the recommendation amend and do pass as amended. Signed, Senator Fabian Dignate, Chair. Mr. President, your Committee on Judiciary, to which was referred Assembly Bill number 209, has had the same under consideration and begs leave to report the same back with the recommendation amend and do pass as amended. Signed, Senator Melanie Scheibel, Chair. End of reports.
Order of business 12, second reading.
Senate Bill 459, introduced by Senator Cannizzaro, revises provisions relating to gaming salons. The people of the state of Nevada, represented in Senate and Assembly, to enact as follows, Section 1 into Section 1.
Are there any amendments?
I have amendment number 610, proposed by the Senate Committee on Judiciary.
Senator Scheibel.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to dispense with the reading of Amendment 610.
If there are no objections, so ordered. Senator Scheibel.
I move to adopt Amendment 610 to Senate Bill 459.
You've heard the motion. Senator Scheibel.
Amendment 610 makes the effective date upon passage and approval.
Any remarks on the amendment? Seeing none, those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. SB 459 as amended is ordered reprinted, engrossed, and to the general file.
Senate Bill 500, introduced by the Senate Committee on Finance, ensures sufficient funding for K-12 public education for the 2025-2027 biennium. The people of the state of Nevada, represented in Senate and Assembly, do enact as follows, Section 1 into Section 1.
Are there any amendments?
There are none.
SB 500 is ordered to the general file.
Senate Bill 501, introduced by the Senate Committee on Finance, authorizes expenditures by agencies of the state government for the 2025-2027 biennium. The people of the state of Nevada, represented in Senate and Assembly, do enact as follows, Section 1 into Section 1.
Are there any amendments?
There are none.
SB 501 is ordered to the general file.
Senate Bill 502, introduced by the Senate Committee on Finance, authorizes and provides funding for certain projects of capital improvement. The people of the state of Nevada, represented in Senate and Assembly, do enact as follows, Section 1 into Section 1.
Are there any amendments?
There are none.
SB 502 is ordered to the general file.
Assembly Bill 29, introduced by the Assembly Committee on Natural Resources, revises provisions relating to motor vehicle fuel. The people of the state of Nevada, represented in Senate and Assembly, do enact as follows, Section 1 into Section 1.
Are there any amendments?
I have amendment number 631, proposed by the Senate Committee on Natural Resources.
Senator Cruz Crawford.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to dispense with the reading of the amendment.
If there are no objections, so ordered. Senator Cruz Crawford.
Amendment 631 to Assembly Bill 29 does the following. It clarifies the price, grade, and octane rating.
Senator Cruz Crawford, you need to make a motion.
Sorry,
first.
Mr. President, I move to adopt Amendment 631 to Assembly Bill 29.
Thank you. You've heard the motion. Senator Cruz Crawford.
Thank you. Amendment 631 to Assembly Bill 29 does the following. It clarifies the price, grade, octane rating of each motor vehicle. Fuel are displayed rather than labeled at the pump or dispenser, and it authorizes the State Board of Agriculture to adopt regulations to establish alternative identifications for ethanol, flex fuel, biodiesel, or biodiesel blend to be used on an advertising medium, pump, or dispenser.
Are there any remarks on the amendment? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. AB 29 as amended is ordered reprinted, engrossed, and to the general file.
Assembly Bill 40, introduced by the Assembly Committee on Natural Resources, revises various provisions relating to environmental hazards. People of the state of Nevada, represented in Senate and Assembly, to enact as follows, Section 1 into Section 1.
Are there any amendments?
I have amendment number 630, proposed by the Senate Committee on Natural Resources.
Senator Cruz Crawford.
Mr. President, I move to dispense with the reading of the amendment.
If there are no objections, so ordered. Senator Cruz Crawford.
Mr. President, I move to adopt the Amendment 630 to Assembly Bill 40.
You've heard the motion. Senator Cruz Crawford.
Amendment 630 to Assembly Bill 40 does the following. It makes changes to clarify language as requested by the bill's sponsor. Specifically, the changes include clarifying the owners and operators of certain facilities, which the State Environmental Commission may adopt regulations. It authorizes a solid waste management authority to take certain actions to determine if the owner or operator of a solid waste management facility is in compliance with certain requirements. It clarifies the solid waste management facility includes without limitation the disposal site for certain purposes, and it clarifies the definition of storage.
Any further remarks on the amendment? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. AB 40 as amended is ordered reprinted, engrossed, and to the general file.
Assembly Bill 59, introduced by the Assembly Committee on Natural Resources, revises provisions relating to governmental administration. The people of the state of Nevada, represented in Senate and Assembly, do enact as follows, Section 1 into Section 1.
Are there any amendments?
I have amendment number 629, proposed by the Senate Committee on Natural Resources.
Senator Cruz Crawford.
Mr. President, I move to dispense with the reading of the amendment.
If there are no objections, so ordered. Senator Cruz Crawford.
Mr. President, I move to adopt Amendment 629 to Assembly Bill 59.
You've heard the motion. Senator Cruz Crawford.
Amendment 629 to Assembly Bill 59 does the following. It deletes provisions related to the authority of game wardens to enforce all laws and makes such enforcement a power instead of a duty. It deletes the prohibition on intentional feeding of game birds. However, it prohibits the taking of any bird that is classified as game bird by baiting or above an area that is baited, which a person knows or reasonably should have known it was baited.
Any remarks on the amendment? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. AB 59 as amended is ordered reprinted, engrossed, and to the general file.
Assembly Bill 104, introduced by the Assembly Committee on Natural Resources, revises provisions relating to water. The people of the state of Nevada, represented in Senate and Assembly, do enact as follows, Section 1 into Section 1.
Are there any amendments?
I have amendment number 628, proposed by the Senate Committee on Natural Resources.
Senator Cruz Crawford.
Mr. President, I move to dispense with the reading of the amendment.
There are no objections, so ordered. Senator Cruz Crawford.
Mr. President, I move to adopt Amendment 628 to Assembly Bill 104.
You've heard a motion. Senator Cruz Crawford.
Amendment 628 to Assembly Bill 104 does the following. It clarifies the state engineer's responsibility to reject certain applications to change or reinstate groundwater rights that have been retired and changes the term vested to decreed related to groundwater rights. And it deletes the section relating to excessive use fees charged by the Southern Nevada Water Authority or a member agency of the authority.
Any further remarks on the amendment? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. AB 104 as amended is ordered reprinted, engrossed, and to the general file.
Assembly Bill 351, introduced by the Assembly Committee on Judiciary, revises provisions relating to the jurisdiction of the juvenile court over certain offenses. The people of the state of Nevada, represented in Senate and Assembly, do enact as follows, Section 1 into Section 1.
Are there any amendments?
I have amendment number 672, proposed by the Senate Committee on Judiciary.
Senator Scheibel.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to dispense with the reading of Amendment 672.
If there are no objections, so ordered. Senator Scheibel.
I move to adopt Amendment 672 to Assembly Bill 351.
You've heard the motion. Senator Scheibel.
This amendment requires the juvenile court to consider factors relating to the interests of justice and need for protection of the public to determine if a case should be dismissed or transferred to district court for criminal proceedings.
Any remarks on the amendment? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. AB 351 as amended is ordered reprinted, engrossed, and to the general file.
Assembly Bill 487, introduced by the Assembly Committee on Natural Resources, revises provisions relating to the sale of certain pets. The people of the state of Nevada, represented in Senate and Assembly, do enact as follows, Section 1 into Section 1.
Are there any amendments?
I have amendment number 627, proposed by the Senate Committee on Natural Resources.
Senator Cruz Crawford.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to dispense with the reading of the amendment.
There are no objections. So ordered. Senator Cruz Crawford.
Mr. President, I move to adopt Amendment 627 to Assembly Bill 487.
You've heard the motion. Senator Cruz Crawford.
Thank you, Mr. President. Amendment 627 to Bill 487 does the following: deletes all existing provisions of the bill and adds a requirement for the Joint Interim Standing Committee on Natural Resources to conduct an interim study relating to the acquisition and treatment of cats and dogs by retail pet stores for resale in Nevada.
Any further remarks on the amendment? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. AB 487 as amended is ordered reprinted, engrossed, and to the general file. We will take a quick recess. The Senate is back in order. Senator Canizaro.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would move to take the remaining bills on general file and place them on general file for the next agenda this legislative day.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Senator Canizaro.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would also move that the Senate stand in recess until the call of the chair.
Okay, we are in recess.
The Senate is back in order. I'm in the dark, and I understand that. And we will go to order of business 16, remarks from the floor, introduction of guests. Senator Canizaro.
On Wednesday,
12:30, Wednesday, May 21st. And we will take a motion. Thank you. And all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. And we will buzz off into the sunset. This is adjourned.